happy almost weekend. Welcome to SJU. I'm Roth Cornet, and look who I have with me today. My favorite humans, Joe Starr.
Suck it, Dan.
Not what I meant to do. Spencer Gilbert, Andy Signore, and I'm missing Dan terribly. He's off. He's going to see Blade Runner today.
Lucky.
So that's exciting. For Dan, but we have exciting things here too. We are going to talk about Burger King banning it. That's right, people. This one's amazing. And you will love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., says Disney.
Oh.
And Hal gets some medical advice from Ellen Page. How did that happen, Joe?
Just in the crazy world that we call Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm in
our beautiful Ellen Page bubble.
I'm in full Leno today, guys. I am in full Leno. Let's talk about Burger King.
Okay.
Did you hear about Burger King? You hear about this? So Burger King in Russia, the branch wants to ban it. I love this story so much.
Burger King.
Is it called Burger Czar there?
Burger Czar.
He's been saving that joke since yesterday.
No, I just thought of it, Andy.
Right now. So I just thought of that right now, says Spencer. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe Spencer.
There's like a 2-second delay where I'm looking at it.
In Russia, it's not
I'm going to say a funny thing.
It's a terrifying looking Anastasia mask. Is the mascot for the burgers.
I like
Anastasia,
it.
the Don Bluth cartoon?
No, Anastasia.
Which also based on a historical Russian character.
Yeah.
Do you
History
know-
spoilers.
Save it. We haven't done that yet.
I swear I'm gonna get to the story. Do you know who Anastasia is? Did you see at least the Disney cartoon?
I saw the Don Bluth cartoon, Roth.
Okay.
It is a Don Bluth.
Don Bluth cartoon.
Yes,
You saw that.
with
So
the
you know who
mouse and stuff.
Anastasia is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Russian.
It's the princess who supposedly survived, or the woman came forward and said she survived the assassination of her family, but then it was questionable about whether she was a fraud or
Yeah,
not.
don't ruin the subject we're going to do tomorrow.
Do you guys
There's no news story.
Do you guys
is
remember
the
that time that Spencer spiked a volleyball for the win, and then I stumbled onto the court and just fell face first onto the sand when I tried to add to it? That's what just happened. What's the story?
Welcome to SJU. We're 4 minutes in and not to the story, so we're right on track, people. Burger King. Burger King's Russia branch. What's it banned in the country? Dun, dun,
What's
dun,
what
banned? It.
What? What?
It.
What?
Depends on what your definition of it
See what I did
is.
there?
So basically, they've gone to the country's Federal Anti-Monopoly Service, the FAS, and asked that it should be banned in theaters. And this is the reason why. Burger King says that Pennywise the Dancing Clown bears a remarkable resemblance to Ronald McDonald, so that therefore the movie It is sending a subliminal message to
What?
theater goers to frequent
To go to
Burger
McDonald's?
King's #1 competitor, McDonald's, people. This is an actual thing that's happening. So the spokeswoman from the FAS confirms that the agency has indeed received the Burger King Russia's complaint, and they are currently evaluating
That's
it.
insane.
It's insane. And this is even better, is that the movie's already out. It's made $14 million. This could take months, if not a year. So what is this just a publicity play?
Absolutely. Look, get ready for the bell, Spencer. As a new vegetarian,
Oh, ding, 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 ding.
I've eaten a lot of McDonald's prior to that, Burger King, etc. Ronald McDonald is hardly a fixture anymore, for one, is what my point is as a fast food junkie months ago. Like they don't show him as often as they used to. So that's one, a stretch. Two, McDonald's doesn't own all clowns.
Not all clowns.
Sorry, but they don't own all clowns.
Hashtag not all clowns.
This is just a stupid thing.
No, but you actually made a great point that this could be for publicity, because I thought it was stupid. I was like, oh, Russia must be such a terrifying murder zone that they think like it looks like Ronald McDonald because just everything's frightening there. But then you're right. It's like a subliminal hit against McDonald's because it gets people to compare Ronald McDonald and It's a Clown.
Here's the actual genius of this case is exactly that. It's actually going to turn people off from going to McDonald's and get Burger Czar
Don't want to see
on
that
the
scary
brain.
clown.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Ronald McDonald too terrifying for you because he murders children? Come on to Burger King and have some delicious chicken fries.
The creepy Burger King guy who just goes like this.
Yeah. Have some tasty Dorito hash browns or whatever.
Bow to me. Yeah, come to Burger King where we will just subjugate you.
That Burger King clown is scary too. Can we not ignore that?
Horrifying.
Look at that horrifying.
The Burger King.
I get him. They're next to Pennywise. He's just as scary.
Is it?
I thought
do
we
have
had it
it
because I saw it there.
There. No, that's
it's in our
McDonald's.
thumbnail.
That's Ronald McDonald.
There
you go.
That's he's scary to his he can't move his face.
Do you know the problem with this
Eyes are
mascot is that it's in the uncanny valley. It's too close to looking humanoid. Like
Yeah,
it
he could do
needs to
some
look
terrifying
more.
things to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
he's
can
too
and
polar
has.
expressy. Way too polar
Yeah.
expressy.
So there's actual cases of, other than what Burger King is currently doing to the population of Russia, there's real cases of subliminal advertising. A lot of them, actually, and this has been banned.
Does it work, though?
You are so insane
man.
right now.
Nah. Ugh.
It's not scary.
It's not as scary because, like,
I still don't want you to do it anymore.
yeah.
Okay, you win. Point proof. Stop doing that.
Husker Du board game, which I didn't know that was a
Husker Du.
thing.
I thought
that was like a
Husker
punk
Du.
band.
Band? Yeah, Husker Du.
Husker Du
Hast.
board game. So there were television spots for this barely remembered, as we've just pointed out, memory board game, Husker Du. It aired in 1973, and they inserted a series of frames that said, "Get it, get it."
I like that. Where the child may outwit the adult.
it.
That's the Home Alone tagline in Russia.
And
His
so
sideburns.
the game's manufacturer admitted that they had done this. The FCC got involved, and they were like, "Yeah, you really can't do that," and pulled the ads. And then again,
What was
Aria-
the wait? What
I'm
was the subliminal
confused.
thing?
What would
the-
get it?
Get it.
So the subliminal thing was they flash frames that just said, "Get it,
Oh, like
Get
get,
it.
the game.
Yeah.
get it."
Get it.
Where the
Obey.
That's kinda
child
clever.
might outwit the adult. Husker Du. Get it.
Get it?
Get
Get
it.
it.
There's another one, the ARIA Awards in 2007, which is basically the Australian version of American Music Awards. Viewers were exposed to images below the threshold of human awareness.
So it didn't work.
Described, basically, there were 10 images of corporate sponsors like Toyota flashed. So the idea is just to get, like, I don't know why, honey, let's get a Toyota. I'm loving this music, but I think I need a Toyota. Like, that's
Can we-
the idea.
I wish we'd done some subtle throughout this one. That would have been
Yeah,
fun.
in this
Subtle-
one.
and we missed
Yeah.
flashes.
JT.
If you can still do it, go for it.
Are you saying,
Nature box.
how do
Yeah,
you-
it's a good idea. Loot crate.
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. T-Mobile.
Superliminal.
T-Mobile. My phone service hasn't been working very well with Verizon, you guys. I think I need to get that T-Mobile. So the channel got a scolding and promised never to do it again. Here's one from a political campaign, though we are not getting political today, but this is from the George Bush campaign.
Speak for yourself. Those clowns in Washington need to be taken down a peg by our news movie
Those Ronald
program.
McDonald's?
Yes,
all clowns.
those idiots. What is this? Rats?
So George Bush, basically during
Democrats.
it was
supposed to say?
Democrats.
Nice.
Yeah, it was basically
Nice.
over an image of Al Gore. And I just quickly flashed
That rat.
rats.
Hmm.
And
Al Gore who invented the internet?
Yeah,
The
that
series
one.
of tubes? Okay.
Yeah, the series of tubes that interlock to make our lives possible. And thank you to everyone involved in that. So basically, they just had to pull it off the air, but the campaign was like, we're unaware of anything to do with this. Marlboro,
Remember when they had to be subliminal political ads?
instead of just straight, yeah, like, actually, that's a fair question. Is it better to just straight up be like,
Just own it.
just own it?
Yeah.
Apparently,
Own
it's,
it?
Just be
it's-
like your subhuman vermin. Just say it.
Hey, it got the win.
So Marlboro, they basically had to take ads for Marlboro off of cars and for racing, and for Formula One. And
Not my car.
Not my car.
I've got Calvin peeing on a cool logo because I'm a Marlboro man through and through.
Although, is this
also what your tattoo is.
Marlboro brought up a question for me and Billy, and I was like, "Do you remember Joe Camel?" And they were Camel got accused of like targeting to kids, which I smoked as a kid. I will admit this. I smoked cigarettes I know.
So sad, Roth.
I know.
What happened?
Okay.
You used to be cool.
Right?
That's the joke.
You used to be the cool girl we
It's
could
not
go
cool.
smoke clubs
No,
with.
I totally smoked cloves. Yeah, I started smoking when I was 12.
Nice.
And I
nice.
know it's bad. It's terrible, horrible. But I did smoke Camels, and there was like the little Joe Camel cartoon, and they said you're aiming towards kids. Is that subliminal
See-
or bastard?
Well, do we have the Joe Camel? Do we have a picture of him? Because I remember it being a different subliminal. Oh,
I remember that too.
There was a lot of.
He had a
yeah.
wiener
Does he
on
look
his
like a
face, right?
penis?
Yeah, he looked like a big
penis.
wiener.
He had
Big, weird
bald
penis.
head and a shaft chin, and
If we don't have it, someone should look
so
it
it
up
was
on the laptop.
But
or
I don't
something.
know what that message like. Oh, come smoke a penis.
Yeah,
like,
well, that was what was weird.
I'm
was,
unsure
I
what
get
that.
it was like he's a cartoon animal, so it's for
well,
kids. but it was
cartoons in
very
general,
phallic.
or I mean, cigarettes in general, like putting little dicks in your mouth.
Well,
Yeah.
Family
The
Guy's
whole-
phallic too. He's got balls
Are
dangling
you
from his
saying that
face.
people are smoking or putting little dicks in their mouth?
Yeah, they can't play with their penis in public, so that they fondle a little one.
That's why I smoke.
Yeah, I was happy to both play with my penis and smoke cigarettes.
I mean, come on. Can you zoom in?
Yeah, that's,
I'm not trying to be gross, but that was a thing. I remember when I was a kid.
yeah, that's a cow.
There were parent groups who were very like Joe
Look
Camel.
at it, softly resting upon the scrotum.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Just Google Joe Camel. Come on. That's weird.
That's a penis.
That's a phallic giraffe. Or giraffe.
It's a camel.
Thanks, Billy.
Well, but so what's the message there? Like parent groups were upset that he looked like a penis, but not that their children were smoking
Well, it was the
death
combo because
sticks?
he was an
Yeah,
animated
you-
character,
Yeah.
looking cool, smoking, which I get.
Yeah.
But then they also had this weird phallic thing to it, which I don't know if they were trying to appeal to. But
Even the
Camel was
Marlboro
weird.
Man, I think they had to kind of get rid of that mascot because they were like,
Norman was just a cowboy.
It was
like,
just a
out in the
cowboy.
range, like always smoking out, and it was hot. He was always cold and warming himself up.
Yeah.
I remember those ads. It looked like kind
But
of
it
cool.
looked cool.
And, yeah, it totally
Yeah.
looked cool. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, that looks like I
you're
want to do
like,
that.
oh yeah.
And
I
his
would
hat
smoke-
was also in the shape of a penis.
Yeah, and he was smoking it.
Remember, was that movie with Mickey Rourke and the Marlboro Man? There was a movie. Anyway, sorry.
So much worse than that, though, is that my parents allowed me. Do you remember cigarette? They had this thing where in our local candy store, cigarette gum.
Sure.
Where it was
Yeah, candy
like
cigarettes, yeah.
candy
you chew
cigarettes,
that.
and then you could chew it, and you like took a puff, and you blew out sugar. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I did that all the time. You
can still get that
The
at
writing was
select
on the
candy
wall.
stores.
I was
Yeah.
gonna smoke. Like, why
Yeah.
is that a thing that was allowed?
That's
Well,
why
we-
Raven's Revenge sour dust led to my decades-long cocaine habit.
We
Yeah.
forget like it was
Yeah,
very
I know
common.
that
It was,
about you.
Yeah, it was the candy that did it.
yeah.
Smoking was very common. They were doing it on airplanes,
crack
which is
was
to me
the
like I
thing
forgot
for
they
me.
like because they've banned it from a lot of restaurants now, which I'm grateful for. But they used to do it on airplanes, which is like the weirdest thing to think about. Of
Smoking on airplanes,
smoking
yeah,
on an
non-smoking
airplane,
section.
You can't get it out. It was like
I had a weird switch in my life because I remember the first day in Kentucky, we were in a Waffle House, and someone was like, "You guys can't smoke in here anymore," and we were all like, "Why are we here? Why did we come to Waffle House if not to smoke with our waffles?" But now the
as you're wearing a shirt.
the good old days.
David Sedaris, do you guys ever read
Sure.
David Sedaris? So David Sedaris literally moved to Paris when they started banning smoking in New York because he was like, this is madness. I will not have this. Although I think it's harder and harder now in Europe as well.
Oh, I just came back from Paris and I hated it. Like you're sitting at the diner at the cafes, and I have my 5-year-old there, and they're just
Yeah, or Vegas.
blowing it
Yeah.
right in your face. They don't care, and it's all they do all day long.
Yeah.
It was nonstop
Well,
everywhere. I saw the waiters doing it.
It's weird that you can go from the transition
That's
of
French.
like, it's ridiculous I can't smoke in this small diner to if I'm within like 30 feet of someone smoking outside, I'm just like, oh, gross!
I am that guy. I don't care. It's gross. It does it because it does get in there, and I don't want it in my lungs. Like, go find your own space and do that to yourself.
I like the idea that this episode is somehow sponsored by like if Virginia Slims was still a thing. Like this episode, are we encouraging you or discouraging you from smoking?
I'm not
you know what
encouraging you unless you get those cool menthol ones with like the crushed up flavor beads in
I was
them.
gonna say a
That's
cigar.
cool.
I can tolerate a good cigar. That's like a different. I don't know. It's less
Cigars
gross.
make me a little nauseous.
I could really go for a good Camel Blue right now.
Yeah.
And some waffles.
And some waffles.
No one smokes anymore, though. Typically speaking,
Which
it's
is actually
very
a big
rare
thing.
to see people
still do
smoking.
it.
Don't know about that vape.
This episode, by the way, sponsored by Transformers: The Last Night Smoking a Cigarette. Is he? Just an Optimus Prime smoking. This episode's
I wouldn't be
sponsored by.
surprised if that was in the movie. Autobots.
Do you know what's interesting? Because I've rewatched Blade Runner 3 times in the last week,
Yeah.
the original
They're
Blade Runner,
smoking
and
quite a
they
bit.
are smoking.
Yes.
Die Hard, any movie
Constantly.
in the mid 90s
Yeah.
and previous, people just chimneys.
Smoking all the time, and that was also like a neo noir. So the
But
especially
people only
smoking.
live till 35 until recently, so who
Yeah.
cares?
People didn't only live till 35 in the 90s.
Sure they did, the cool
No?
ones.
Yeah, come on, Kurt Cobain. Yeah, they all. Yeah.
Oh, darkness!
Come on, the Today Show or
did
Good Morning
you-
America, they'd always have the Smuckers with the 100-year-old ladies, and I remember that. They were
Yeah.
old people back then.
Yeah,
Nah, they didn't
back
exist.
then,
No, it didn't exist.
the 90s is like, oh, Jesus.
Hollywood
What
trickery.
we're trying to say is only smoke salvia. It's
Speaking,
really cool.
You know what? Speaking of corporate synergy, They got me one for when I do a bad one, so we'll
Nice.
see what happens later today. None of them. Thank you, Joseph Starr.
No, sometimes they're so bad they're good.
And I think when you do it cleanly, we shouldn't even call it out. It should just it should just happen.
It just no, I like
No?
that.
You want it every time?
I do.
Yeah.
I
It's your
like
show.
that. Well, it's our show, you
our show.
guys. Did Disney force ABC to renew Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? This is from Twitter user
That's
Tim
Inhumans.
Tim Butner. Variety is reporting that the Inhumans bad reviews. We should really watch this so that we can comment ourselves at a certain point.
I think we're good.
I know. I volunteered.
I'll watch
Joe,
the pilot.
should you?
Yeah.
I hear it's awful.
I know. I'm kind of interested in how awful it could be.
Me too. Once you're hearing something that is this bad, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, now I gotta see it. So in
Like
any
a Neil
event,
Breen movie.
Yes.
yeah, this has created
All
quite
its
a bit.
fatalities.
I'm hacking the government.
So good.
I go to see every movie that gets like below a certain percent on Rotten
Samurai
Tomatoes.
Cop. That's another good one.
because I just must know.
Miami Connection. You ever see that?
Miami Connection is amazing.
Ninja.
Maybe the best fictional band of all time because
Deadly Prey. Have you watched that one?
they all know Kung
That
Fu.
one's good.
I'm gonna call this right now. Like this is definitely the worst episode we've done this week. Like this is just.
Sometimes there's not much news. You gotta talk about cool smoking. How cool smoking is.
So Variety is reporting that the bad reviews have created quite a bit of contention between Disney and ABC, and they basically already had demanded that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. get a 5th season. So the article says that, quote, the Inhumans has not been the only source of friction between ABC and Marvel. Earlier this year came down from Disney that ABC had to renew the Marvel drama Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. despite the desire by some at the network to end the series after 4 seasons. They moved S.H.I.E.L.D. From its Tuesday spot to Fridays after the
not
Inhumans,
a
which
good
is
time
basically
slot.
like a death knell.
yeah.
And they're already calling the Inhumans in some marketing the complete series instead of a season. Like, we're not doing this again.
See the complete series.
Yeah, exactly.
ouch.
Like, suffer your way through this thing. It's really
Ramsay
interesting.
Bolton.
Yeah, he was so excited. He's like, yes, I scored a Marvel TV show. I'm going to make
Bummer.
bank off of it after Game of Thrones.
Well,
Nope.
other than Netflix, though, S.H.I.E.L.D. has been.
Well, can we comment the showrunner
Yeah.
of Inhumans was the same guy who did Iron Fist?
We can
Can we
comment.
comment that? Sorry, dude, you're done.
Enough
No more.
bites
No
at
more
that superhero
movies.
apple.
Try something else, I guess. But dude, stop.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah.
Over 2. I don't get this
Showrunners
story.
that produce below average TV never work again.
They do though all the time. Is what's frustrating. We must stand united and say no.
Right,
No,
instead
to
of
the-
like putting it all on the actors and stuff, let's aim our hatred at the creative people
That is a
who
good
want to
cast.
just make
Yeah.
good things.
The Unions does have a good cast. Like Black Bolt is the dude from Hell on Wheels. He's a good actor.
He was in a movie with him called Tully. He's a good Anson Mount. He's a good dude.
Anson.
like a
He's a
Sully
nice dude.
spin-off.
He has a dope name. And Ramsey. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's good. I
But
agree.
I thought Disney owned
You gotta watch it,
ABC. How is this? How is there conflict? It's like the left hand saying
so
like right hand.
It's not a conflict, but it's like if our or someone's higher ups or corporate entities came and started demanding that you do things that.
Yeah, what if we had Inhumans and it's terrible and we had to and then the higher ups or me or whoever's like, no, Spencer, you must air this crappy show forever.
Yeah, I mean we had no
Because
choice.
we own it and you have to, and you
Yeah.
have a choice. But it's like, I could see it from network's perspective, like, no, this is terrible.
This is bad for the
I don't want to
network.
waste 8 weeks of programming on this. It's going to tank my Friday. Let's get rid of it. I feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of those shows that's probably teetering down. Maybe you do a smaller short run final season to give them sort of the due, but it does feel like that show is sort of on its way out.
I mean, the last season was really actually pretty solid, but I think they made a decision a long time ago that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was not going to matter, sort of in the bigger picture of Marvel.
Which hurt it.
Yeah, which hurt it a lot, I think. You could have given those kids such a nice push if they had just been on the helicarrier at the end of Age of Ultron, like, hi! Disney decided a long time ago they didn't matter, so it's weird that now they're like, no, it stays!
Well, it feels like Marvel did.
Well, okay.
I don't know whose
There-
fault it
sorry,
was.
yeah.
But good
It's
point.
this. Jeff Loeb is the head of television, Marvel TV, and Kevin Feige is the head of Marvel movies.
and is like Netflix under Marvel TV or is
it's
that
under
its own
Marvel
thing?
TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jeff Loeb is the one that does all of the TV, and Feige does all of the movies. And what I have heard and what we've heard is basically like never the twain shall meet. Like Feige's like, I don't care. Like I'm
too
doing
much
my
to
thing.
juggle, right.
I have a lot going on. Like you go do you. And so they don't involve the TV shows and the movies. And I liked S.H.I.E.L.D. after the first season. I thought got good. I thought it was kind of entertaining and fun show. But the truth is, those shows have not been successful. Agent Carter wasn't successful for them, for ABC, especially by network standards. And given how competitive it is for networks right now, I would be pissed too. It's like I'm competing not only against the other networks, but against cable, against Netflix. Now Amazon is on. Like, don't
I have
make
two
me.
stinkers I have to release.
Yeah, don't make me waste time with this. I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I just, remember the good old days where you'd hear that a movie came out, like that old Fantastic Four movie, and the only way you could find it was like a bootleg at some weird like sci-fi convention. Like, why can't Inhumans be that? Like, I never want that to come out, and then there's just a guy at San Diego Comic-Con with like CDRs of it, just like, hey, you want to see that Lost Inhumans?
That could be fun.
Yeah, then it's fun.
That's where that needs to exist.
But instead, it's gonna probably hurt ABC's ratings and ABC's fine. And this was always a weird.
ABC's also
fit
trying to bring
for
back
ABC?
American Idol with Katy Perry. That's a whole weird drama, and that's totally unrelated. I'm sure no one cares. But
It's
they
a
paid her
sim-
like $15 million to come back for Katy
Whoa.
Perry, and then she stupidly admitted that, and then every other judge and Ryan Seacrest are like, whoa, give me that money too. And then
That was a
suddenly
dumb thing to
the
say.
budget is like, who cares that much about that show? I
Yeah.
don't believe anybody does. It was only off the air for 2 seasons. Like if you waited 5-10 years, I could see like, all right, let's see what it's like now. But so stupid. They're
Just
making
let the
some weird
voice do their
moves.
thing,
do
man.
celebrity-
Well, even the
Wipeout.
voice is starting to fall down. Like
Yeah.
it's not as popular as it was.
I still watch it. Don't you
Have they
judge
ever
me.
done Celebrity Wipeout?
Celebrity Wipeout, no, but they're doing Celebrity Big Brother, which they've done in England for a while.
What about Celebrity Ninja Warrior?
I don't know. If
Yeah, they
they've
do that
done
for
I want to
Charities.
see D-list celebrities hurt themselves.
They
Yeah,
did.
that's-
the beginning of this season. They did it for Red Nose Day. They did a thing, and like Steve Amell from Arrow like murdered the course. Actually,
Yeah, there's been some people who
he
just
like
tried it.
legit salmon laddered.
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
Because he does that in the show. He has to do it all the time. That's,
But yeah, there was a couple weird like D-list celebrities on there too.
Yeah, I want James Woods to
You
be
could've
like,
watched Battle-
chemtrails are real, and then fall off a ball.
Battle of the Network Stars, man. That was a whole summer series. It was all D-list celebrities running track and swimming. It was so weird.
Hunger
Joey
Games.
Lawrence versus.
That's the only thing that would get me back to network TV is Celebrity Hunger Games, basically.
Do you not watch network TV at all?
Some shows, I don't know.
We'll talk about what we watch on TV.
This Is Us.
On tomorrow. This is us, people.
I haven't watched
It's
this
a
week.
good
'cause I
show.
was
The Good
out.
Place is really fun. I'm watching that
I
now.
watched Young Sheldon just because I wanted to know what it was about.
These are
Did
fun.
you do it, Spencer?
You might see on Flickbait what happened.
Okay. good.
Arise.
This, by the way, the Inhumans thing, I have not seen it. I've heard it's terrible. S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought was fun for a while, but all of that aside, always a really weird fit for ABC, which is a network that is like aimed mostly towards women, to be honest. Like most of their programming is like geared towards women. It was always like just the corporate synergy that made that happen. Like that would have been better off on like a CW or something like that. That's my wisdom for the networks today.
But I was going to say that CW is more, sorry, I know I'm keeping us going, but CW is more kid-friendly, which is the problem, I think, with these Marvel shows is they worked on Netflix because Punishers is one I think we all are excited for.
Yeah.
Like they're going a different direction. We get to see a gritty, longer form narrative about a character that can curse and bleed and do all this fun stuff that I think is smart, and they should be going that direction. But I feel like even Iron Fist to an extent, some of it's not, no, they did do some violence, but it still doesn't fully embrace the grittiness in a level that I think Netflix should to separate itself from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans.
Well, they have, yeah.
I think Daredevil and
Yeah, I
Jessica
guess it
Jones
does.
are.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
They have.
I can see why sort of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is sort of flustering because they can't use any of the stars from the movies, and they're sort of stuck with ABC standards, and
Yeah.
it's just a.
Well, the last thing that I will say on this is that the Defenders, it just came out recently, is probably one of the lowest performers for Netflix of like any of their series at all.
Have they admitted that?
Wow.
They haven't admitted that. This is outside research.
Lower than The Ranch.
Maybe not the Ranch, but certainly of the Marvel series. Certainly of the
Sure.
Marvel series and their more premiere series. Yeah, this is one of the lower performers, but we'll see. Punisher looks awesome, and I think they'll rebound from that. You know who else rebounds when you bring them back to life? The Flatliners.
Ooh, that made me sneeze.
That was, come on.
That segue was so sweet you were allergic to it.
That was
Yeah, it
super.
was.
All right.
God, JT, what does a woman have to do? Fine.
Well,
So
you gotta earn it.
how?
Yeah, you gotta earn it.
You can't
I
force it.
earned that.
I agree. Don't sort of show it, JT.
I
She did not earn that.
twisted nuts to make that happen. Fine. Fine. Hal, we sent him to talk to Ellen Page and the cast of the Flatliners, which is
Yeah.
coming out this week.
What? We can't talk about that. We can't see the movie.
No, we can't. We're gonna show.
See the movie.
We're gonna show the clip. from Hal.
I don't know anything
and
about
the
this
joke.
movie, but I do want to see Hal.
Okay.
We're gonna show the clip of Hal.
You guys, congrats on making a fun, exhilarating, and like surprisingly scary movie.
Cool. Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, I got a little bit spooked out there. So what I really want to ask you guys, so I'm sure you had extensive medical training to play these young up-and-coming doctors who are in the top students in your field. So I wanted to throw out some medical questions that I found on the internet and just get your professional opinions.
Okay.
Recently, our bedroom has been stinking to high heavens in the morning. An acrid, sour smell. Have traced it to my BF, who has never struggled with BO before and is hygienic. He can't smell the smell, but believes me when I say it's god-awful. Thanks so much for any suggestions.
He probably has
It's a diet issue.
Yeah, he's probably backed up, and he needs to actually go in the emergency room because he's gonna die. He's probably hit. That happened to a person that lived in my building a few years ago, actually.
Wow.
I feel like that might have actually been his girlfriend. There was a guy that lived in my building, and his girlfriend went to the neighbor and was like, "I need to take him to the emergency room. He smells like he's rotting," and he couldn't smell it. And
Wow.
he had to get a stomach surgery and everything.
Stomach surgery? Wow, there you go.
Kiersey, you just either saved someone's life or just diagnosed.
Or I just told you the story of that might have been my.
Yeah, you just gave us the
neighbor's,
autopsy.
girlfriend.
Okay. Here's another one. When I shower, a red line appears on my leg going all the way down. Is this an artery?
Why'd you look at me
Like
for that one?
every single time.
I haven't heard from you yet, James, and
I'm not. I'm an expert in red.
yeah.
Is she shaving? Is she shaving her legs?
Man, you're on top of these.
I really am. I know.
I think you nailed it again. You're 2 for 2.
He's good.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. I have a Tic Tac in my ear. I'm trying to dissolve it with water. How long will it take? Is there anything else I can do?
No, you should not put water in your ears. You should go to the doctor and have them
have it
remove the
removed
Tic Tac.
safely.
Yeah, definitely. Don't put a cotton swab in there either.
Or you could spit in a little cup and then you could put it in your ear so your saliva would.
Or is it like wax? They put wax in your ear?
Really?
Wax is in your ear.
Oh no, wax is in your ear. I burst my eardrum once, and if
With
you
a Tic Tac?
no, no, someone hit me, and the pressure burst my eardrum. So if you did that, then the Tic Tac would come through and exit your nose.
I was eating an ice cream sundae and I think I ate a birthday candle.
Oh.
Should I be concerned?
No.
We'll poop it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just wax. We
I'd
have
be
it in
more
our ears.
concerned about,
They'll poop out the candle.
the
Yeah,
things
the
we
eggs.
eat.
Deal with the eggs first.
You guys, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Those were awesome. Thank you. That was fun.
And you obviously became like PhDs in your prep for the movie.
did.
Yeah,
So
clearly.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I love it. Hal Rudnick.
that was
And this
wonderful.
is, did you guys know that it's National Poetry Day today?
Oh.
No.
So here's where I'm going to challenge you. You can either, in celebration of Hal getting some medical advice, and all 3 of those stories, or 4 were about him, is what we haven't told you. You can either pitch a remake of a little-known 90s movie, such as Flatliners, in haiku form or other kind of poem. You can rap it. Andy, you just saw Hamilton. Or you can ask the people for advice on a medical issue that you're currently facing.
What?
Yeah, that's my challenge to you
Haiku
today.
90s remake pitch or ask for medical advice.
Yeah,
All right, I'm going to ask for medical advice, but mine's gross.
great.
Bring it.
Sorry.
Ralph
But
demanded it.
ready for the ding?
Yeah.
As a vegetarian, ding, I was told I'd have less smelly farts, and
Yeah.
that they are still smelly. Vegetarians,
Poem.
why? I'm wrapping it. Why? Oh God!
What's the breaking
wants to
news?
change the subject. Come on, fellow veggies.
Billy, what do you
How does
got?
that work?
Billy, what do you got?
Apparently this is breaking.
Hey, it's a medical thing. I said
right,
it was
was
gross.
it-
I did warn everybody.
It wasn't a poem, but
I said it in a cool
you know what?
style.
I have a thought. It could be that your body is still
it used to
clearing
It's a
out
cleanse.
That's
You know,
what
the
I
meat stays
assumed.
around for a
All
few
right.
months. Yeah.
the other stuff. It's the roughage is getting the other stuff out of there.
So, oh,
Come
yeah.
on, somebody else do one.
It's a haiku 575.
Oh yeah, I had to look
yeah.
this up
Okay.
earlier,
I
which
didn't know
is
how to
like
do a haiku.
sad. I couldn't even track the math.
575 words.
Yeah.
You know what'd be cool? A little movie I like to call Prayer of the Roller Boys.
Spencer actually did it.
There There you go.
574?
575. That's a little known 90s movie. I think it's one of the Coreys, and it's like a
Do you
post-apocalyptic
literally not know which one?
rollerblade gang. No, Corey. Corey.
Corey.
Yeah, one of the hot Coreys. And it's like post-apocalyptic, kind of like Mad Max on rollerblades, and they should remake that.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Super into that.
Legitimately. What do you got, Joe?
My thetans have felt a little high.
Yeah, I've been noticing that.
And I just wish there was a way in Los Angeles to address how many thetans I have, and just like a way to really kind of solve
He's
that.
not rapping
That's
either.
some high-level stuff.
You're also not rapping or doing a poem.
All right, I got one ready.
Was I supposed to rap my medical
I'll fix
issue?
it with my haiku. Ready?
Yeah.
Where'd Andrew McCarthy go? I'd love to see him again.
That's one word. You
And-
can't.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. It's fine.
That's not that math. I can't.
tried.
My
one
name
word, two
is
syllables.
Joe, and I'm in a seat, and I'm very concerned about my level of thetans.
Someone out there will help you with that.
Yeah.
I can't sleep at night. I can't sleep at night. I can't sleep at night. I seriously have really bad insomnia. It's super awful.
Wow, so feet
Wow.
levels,
It's-
smelly farts,
it's,
non-sleeping,
It's
and
impacting my
Predator
life in the
horrors.
following ways.
Rollerblades.
That's a good
Well
episode.
done today. You guys, you killed it today. And
Yeah,
that's
go
why
see
I love you the
Flatliners.
most.
Go see
because we
Flatliners.
weren't allowed to.
Go see.
I don't know if it's good. That's what frustrates me. Look, the movie could be great. They seem like a very delightful cast.
Yeah, this was a great show. I'm changing the subject, and now he's changing the subject. And it was so good to see you guys today. I have no wisdom from JTE, so I'll go out with
I
this.
like Ellen Page. I like Diego
I like
Luna.
it.
And
I
it was a
like
good
Ellen
cast.
Page.
I like the original.
It's a
You guys
cool.
like the
It's a
original?
cool premise.
Yeah.
I like this movie of Roth really wants to end this episode, and we won't let her.
You know what? I loved the
stretching
original Flatliners, and that is a true thing.
What do you think of Kiefer
right.
Sutherland?
As a human
I was
being,
just delaying. He was in Flatliners.
Got it.
Wasn't he? He was, yeah.
he was in
Yeah.
Flatliners, and that was the whole drama because
Yeah.
he was with, I think at the time, he was with Julia Roberts.
Yes.
And then she left him for Jason Patrick,
Yeah.
or the reverse.
Yeah.
Was it the
Like
reverse?
90s,
And it
yeah.
was like a big.
TMZ. Yeah.
All I know is he's in my favorite Three Musketeers movie.
Yeah.
Sutherland
Okay.
is. Yeah.
That was I remember the song with Sting, Rod Stewart, and
Yeah.
Bryan Adams.
All
Yeah.
for one.
All for one, yeah.
If you have made it to this point in the episode, you are literally our #1 fan.
You're our
and
new
I
sponsor.
implore you to
I
leave
made
your
it. Hashtag all
own
for
medical
one.
question. But yeah, all for one. Hashtag
one.
all for one below.
All right.
We look
Roth will
forward
buy
to
you
meeting
cigarettes.
you. I will buy you cigarettes and booze. I won't because you're probably not a